Thanks for joining in. It's been a fair while since my last video once again. Have been on holidays for over a month now, so I'm very much in holiday mode. I haven't been doing a lot of shooting, but as usual for me, looked into the weather forecast and it is looking fairly terrible for the rest of the week, so I decided to make a bit of an effort while I can. And it's this time of year when the Milky Way galactic core at least is not visible in the night skies. Well, myself anyway, I try and look for different targets, and here in the southern hemisphere, by far the most common summer target, I guess, is going to be Orion. And here tonight I am going to do my best to try and get some shots, some slider shots, as well as hopefully a tracked shot of Orion in the background with a bit of focus stacking, and have the full chimney stack in the foreground. So I'm a little bit out of practice, so I'm just trying to sift through all my gear at the moment. I really hope I've bought enough gear, or all the gear rather, because it's just so often that you'll just throw everything in thinking you've got everything, and you'll be missing one piece, and it'll be the end of that idea for the night when you don't have it. So I'm just going to zone in here for a little while and try and get my gear set up, and hopefully we'll see you a bit later when I'm getting the shots. Set up and aligned to the South Pole, which is pretty much dead behind me. I've taken a few shots. I'm going to have a try at I tried a sky replacement tonight. It's all very, very tight in here with trees, and the chimney's obviously very high. It's 34 metres or something like that. So it's very hard to actually get a proportional or a decent looking composition with the entire chimney stack and the Southern Cross, rather Orion, which has now moved quite a way off that way. So I think I'm going to go off down that way and see if I can take a few more shots. What I've done here so far is I've used my 35mm Samyang, and as well as my 85mm Sigma, just to take some tracked shots of Orion there, and I'll probably just finish off with just this Sigma tends to suck in a lot of light, so I'm taking some at a shorter shutter speed, and then I'll take some at a longer shutter speed, and that's because Orion, even though it's not completely visible to the naked eye, its nebula is very bright and can blow out your highlights very quickly. So I tend to sort of take a bit of an exposure bracket, if you like. So I'll get this set up, and then we'll move around and see if we can get a shot from another location. So I finished up my tracked astro shots for tonight. Not really confident with how they're going to turn out, but we'll get them on the computer and see what I can put together. Just probably a little bit rusty, and just not really happy with the focal lengths I was using. The 35 looked too far out, and the only other one I had with me was an 85, which is going to probably look too punched in for my liking, I would say, but we'll see how we go anyway. So I've moved on now here to doing some slider shots. So this is a new slider for me. This is the Moser SliPod Pro, and it is basically a motorized monopod, and it is going to enable me to get some compositions, particularly dollies, that you can't get on traditional sliders because of the rails. The rails will get into your shot, whereas this is an extending pole essentially, and it's got about 520 millimeters of travel, which is pretty close to what my first slider had at 80 centimeters, and that being just a traditional monopod. And obviously it's you can use it just as a standard monopod as well. So I'm giving it a bit of a whirl tonight. It was a few teething issues, which are always enhanced when you're trying to sort them out in the dark. But I'll leave that one going. It's got about a few minutes left to go, and then I'm going to get the SERP slider out to get some distance, and we'll get some a trucking motion, so side to side from further back. Probably won't get the Orion constellation within that composition, just because of how everything's lining up. It is what it is. All right, we'll see how we go. Up, and that's probably going to bring tonight to a close for me. Probably going to try and get one last quick slider run done with my 20mm here, but other than that, it's about a 50% moon, so as soon as it gets a little bit more off the horizon, we're going to have pretty much blown out foreground. It's just going to be too bright, but it was beautiful coming up. Hopefully some of the time lapses I got off of it coming up worked. As always, missed the best of it, popping out from behind a cloud. It just set the whole eastern horizon, filled it with diffused moonlight. It looked terrific. But anyway, better get on with this. Got one slider run on my syrup, just about finished, and trying something a bit different with an 85mm slider run. I don't know if it's going to work. You know, you never know if you never try though. So even if I refine it down and get an idea for a feel of how it moves, I might be able to use it in different scenarios down the track. But anyway, I hope you have gotten something out of this fairly hogwash sort of video, and hope to see you next time.